Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to another YouTube video. It is week 3 and it's my secondary squat day, but day 1 of my current workout week. I might regret this, but I'm gonna go up to 200 pounds. My last warm-up was at 185. I just did a 3.5 mile walk in like the bright sun, no shade, and I ate my breakfast 3 hours earlier than usual. I always walk every morning, but usually it's like walk and then eat and then work out while my daughter's napping. So probably a little bit more fatigued than usual today, but I'm still gonna go up to 200 instead of 185, and it's the top set of 6, so wish me luck. So I just did my top set of 6. It's like RP 6. My daughter woke up after only 30 minutes of napping. I only got through 20 minutes of my workout, one working set. So the rest of this workout's gonna be very interrupted, but I'll try to film some of it. So since becoming a mom, I've definitely gotten accustomed to getting my workouts done under less than ideal circumstances. Exhibit A today, getting interrupted after only one working set of squats. And also I was at higher fatigue levels because, like I mentioned, I did a really long walk in the hot sun right before, and I went straight into my workout without any rest and without any extra fuel, but I still got it done. I had more interruptions because I was entertaining my daughter. I was going back and forth, playing with her in between my sets, but I still got everything done, and I still, even with all the interruptions, I still finished in an hour and a half time. And I still made a 10-pound jump when I was only planning on doing a 5-pound jump on my top set, which was a win. Also, another example is sometimes I show up to workouts on little sleep because I'm breastfeeding, especially during the night. But if you think about it this way, if you could get this workout done with less than ideal sleep, imagine how good it's going to feel next week when you actually feel better recovered. I'm doing my back off 3x8 high bar at 175. And if you hear baby music playing in the background, got Miss Rachel as a babysitter so I could finish at least all of my squat sets, but my daughter's still running in and out of the gym. My daughter keeps trying to pull down the tripod. I just have step-ups, RDLs, and then cable wood chops. So I'm not gonna film any of that because it's already too chaotic as it is finishing it, but I'll hop into some other workout day for the week next. So a big win for my deadlifts this training block. This is week 3, 3 reps at 315 pounds on the left, moving much faster than 3 reps at 315 pounds moved in week 4, the previous training block. And I could have pulled a PR, I could have pulled heavier than I did last training block, but that wasn't the goal for me. The goal was for me to move it faster. I wanted to move it at about RP 6 to 7 tops versus RP 8 shown in the previous training block. And I'm actually going to just be pulling a deload single next week and not lifting anything heavier. But as a side effect, I ended up pulling a back off volume PR, 3 sets of 6 reps at 285 pounds. So sometimes it's not always about trying to always PR, push more weight. Sometimes it's like, okay, take a step back. Maybe we can focus on pulling heavier weight for your volume and then keeping the top sets the same and just focused on moving the top sets faster, and that's going to keep your body feeling healthy, especially for deadlifts. That's the major priority for me. All right, it's currently day 5 of week 3 of my current training block, and I'm doing my workouts a little bit out of order this week. So usually this would be my deadlift day, but I'm doing my primary squat day, so it's a little bit more fatigued of a state. I also ran yesterday, my second run day of the week. One thing to keep in mind with your programming is sometimes you have prescribed weights and sometimes you have percentages, sometimes you have RPEs. If you have an RPE target, it's good to make sure that you're following that, even if your prescribed weight is gonna have to be slightly lower than what you originally had planned. But sometimes it's better to just push through, so it's good to have a range. For example, on my squats, I was supposed to hit RP 6 in my back offs, but I ended up feeling a little fatigued on the 3rd set and I ended up hitting RP 7. If I was hitting RP 7 earlier in my sets, it would have been better, more beneficial to just back off and go lighter. But sometimes it's just a matter of pushing through, especially if you know you're going to be in a more recovered state the next week when you do it. But it's better to keep your body in check and go lighter, modify based on your RP on the given day, and then show up better the next week than it is just keep pushing your body. But if it's just like slightly harder than usual, then sometimes it's better just, might not matter, just push through. And for my tertiary bench today, I had medium grip 4x5 at 120 pounds. And I also hit a PR yesterday, 2 sets of 3 at 145 pounds. And considering this is also a backup volume for PR, so I'm feeling pretty good on bench. One thing that's been working really well on squats for me has been practicing the same weight each week and adding reps, because I got to a point on squats where I was getting more mentally stressed out when I added more weight on the bar as opposed to actually it being too heavy. So getting myself comfortable with the 215 to 220 pound range. Today I just did 2 reps at 220, and then next week for week 4, the goal is 3 to 4 at RP8. We'll see how I'm feeling, but that could be another strategy if there's just the standard moving up in percentages or moving up in weight week to week. If you're feeling mentally stressed out with certain weights, it can be helpful to just practice it for a while and then add reps with that. And the hardest part of this primary squat day, because like I said, I did these workouts a little bit out of order. So usually I don't bench on the same day as my primary squat day. Usually my tertiary bench day is on my deadlift day. And then I'm also running on my primary squat day, but I already got my run in earlier in the week. So usually the run is the hardest part of my primary squat day because I do it at the end in a fatigue state. But the split squats were the hardest part of my workout because 3 sets of 12 with the 60s. It's the most weight I've ever done with this. I've done 3 sets of 12 with the 60s before, but one way that I've been improving on my accessory movements is doing them quicker. I've noticed, especially since improving my cardiovascular capacity with getting into running, I've been taking even just a second or two less rest in between each rep, and that's been one way of progressing. So split squats and all of those higher rep single leg exercises have gotten a lot easier since I've gotten into running. And then another win for accessories this week was this was my first time ever doing dumbbell bench with the 55s. I struggle significantly with my strength on dumbbell bench, but I did 3 sets of 8 with the 55s, so that was a win. But overall, this training week was really successful. I'm excited for next week. It's going to be some exciting PR-ish territory, maybe more ability PRs than actual overall PRs, but I only have one more training block until I start my powerlifting prep. Let me know if there's any other lifting topics you want me to cover in future videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye.